Be'ez Hashem Yisborach, we begin Perek Shleisha Asa, the 13th chapter in the Rambam Shechitah, in the laws of slaughtering in the Sefer Kedusha, which the Rambam then goes into a related halacha of Shiluch HaKain in regards to sending away the mother bird when he's taking the pair of birds, which is to go ahead and slaughter them and use them, which is in the context, and therefore they're brought here in the laws of Shechitah. So the Rambam halacha opens up and qualifies this prohibition. It says the Rambam, halakech em alabanim. If someone takes the mother with the children, which the mother bird is sitting on, the chicks or the eggs, ushchata, and he slaughters it, habasa mutar b'achila, and this is where it comes, it's like, and you slaughter it, habasa mutar b'achila, so the meat is permitted to be eaten because he did a slaughtering. But v'loika shechitah sa'im, and he gets the lashes for the slaughtering of the mother. But that's interesting here because really the mitzvah shluch hakin is not distinctly a law of Hilchos Shechitah. However, that the context is that once he slaughters the mother, he cannot fulfill any more the mitzvah of shalech to shalech es ha'im, and that's where he's going to get lashes. It's not a really Hilchos Shechitah halacha, but that's actually what executes the violation of lesikach ha'im alabanim, because now you can't send her away anymore. And Shneim like says the pasuk lesikach ha'im alabanim, don't take the mother with the children. And as we're going to explain, there's a way to ameliorate that, but now that you slaughtered the mother, so yeah, it's kosher to be eaten, but one is now has violated the Isser of Shiluch HaKain. And now that's what it says, it's not necessarily a Shechitah halacha. So too, if let's say the mother died before he was able to send it away, and now you can't do the positive commandment anymore. So although he didn't actively go ahead and nullify it like by slaughtering it, but still, like he's going to get lashes. Now, but let's say sent away the mother after that he took it, so then Potzi is going to be exempt from lashes because this is what's known as a lav hanitik laseh, any negative prohibition that you could ameliorate, you could fix it by doing a positive commandment where don't take it. And if you did send it away, then there's not going to be lashes. Halacha beis, v'chein kol mitzvahs lo yisaseh shenitik laseh. As the Rambam says, any negative prohibition which could be fixed by doing a positive commandment which addresses what you did wrong, so chayv l'kaima seishabah, then you have an obligation to go ahead and do the positive commandment related to that. As long as you could, you're going to be exempt from the violation. But vim loy kimoy, and if you don't fulfill it, then then you're going to get lashes. Halacha gimel. Let's say someone came and grabbed the mother away from him and sent it away. Let's say it fled from his hands without his intention. It's still like he's going to get lashes. It says that you have to send it away. Meaning until he sends it away on his own. He did not fulfill the positive commandment, which is the menatik la'aseh, that ameliorates the negative prohibition. So now you're going to get lashes for the negative prohibition which you violated. Now you could fix that by doing positive commandment. So although that wasn't by any choice on your own, someone grabbed it away or flew away on its own, yeah, but you didn't do the mitzvah to say, and now you're stuck with the leisa say, which then it requires him to get lashes. Halacha dal says the Rambam, Nutal im alabanim. Let's say he took the mother with the children. The kitzitz akapeh. Now he even broke the wings kadesh leitof, that it shouldn't fly away the shulcha and to go away on its own. So makanus and makas mardis. So then we give him rabbinic lashes because of trying to distort the obligation of sending it away. And the masha isa etzla asher yigdul kanafel meshacha. And we actually we make him hold on to the bird until its wings grow back, and then to send it away, to then fulfill the mitzvah saseh of shalech to shalach. Now, but let's say the bird dies before it ever regrows its wings, or it flees and it gets lost, then look, is he going to get lashes? Really came as But again, he did not fulfill the positive commandment, which would be menatik, the loisa say, and here that he broke the wings, making it harder, we give him rabbinic lashes, and again, we hold him out until he could go ahead and do that mitzvah saseh. Halacha hey, the Rambam continues regarding how do we do this shiluach, and what happens if the mother comes back. Says the Rambam, how do you send away the mother? So you hold on to its wings, and you have it fly away. Because you're not allowed to take the children when the mother is still there. Now, shilcha b'chazra, what happens if he sends the mother away, comes back, sends away, comes back? So even if this happens 4 or 5 times, has to continue to send the mother bird away. As many times as it requires, he has to send her away. Now, let's say someone says, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm not going to send away the mother, take the children. I'm going to take the mother and send away the children. No, the mitzvah is the obligation he has to send away the mother. Like it says in the pasuk, he has an obligation to send away the mother. Now, let's say, what happens if, let's say, okay, he sent away the mother, took the children, and put them back in the nest. And then the mother comes back on them, He's exempt from sending the mother away, because once he took the eggs, he already merited, so it's not anymore like the Torah says, ki yukari, that it's going to happen, which, as we'll see, excludes that what's called mezuman, if it's prepared, if it's yours. It's only if you stumble upon it. Well, here it's already yours, so even if the mother comes back, he's exempt from sending the mother away. Let's say he sends the mother away. And then he goes and he actually captures the mother after he sent it away. Well, how is the mutter? That's permitted, as the Rambam explains. The Torah only made it forbidden to capture the mother that is not able to fly away because it's here protecting its young. Because it's hovering over its children that they shouldn't be taken. Shlomo says in the pasuk, the mother's hovering over the chicks. But if let's say he already released the mother, and then he goes and runs after and he captures it, that's permitted. You just can't take the mother on the chicks when it's there. But if the mother flew away, even if he gets it right after that, that would be permitted. Halacha, the Rambam continues regarding the halacha of what type of birds is this biblical obligation of shiluach hakein. Says the Rambam, shiluach ha'im, the sending away the mother, it's only by kosher birds, which is not prepared, it's not yours. For example, the doves that are out in the wild in the dovecote, or valiyah, the doves in the loft, in the upper stories, or the birds that took residence, that nested in the orchard, which again is not prepared, where they could just fly away and it's not your bird. Like it says in the pasuk, ki yukari, it'll happen. Because in contrast, but if it's prepared, meaning it's your own domestic fowl, if you're going, for example, avaz and ducks, and chickens, and doves, which they're nesting in the house, that in the chayv l'shalech, you have to send away the mother when it's on the chicks. Halacha tes, let's say the chicks already had already become adult chicks, that they don't need the mothers anymore, that they could already go on their own. Or if it's unfertilized eggs, well then in the chayv l'shalech, then you don't have to send away the mother. It's specifically if it's a chick that needs the mother, or if it's that which has the ability to be a chick. Let's say the chicks were treifas, had a mortal defect. That's the same thing as unfertilized eggs. And that's not similar to that of a regular froich, and therefore which is viable, and therefore it's exempt from sending the mother away from those types of eggs and chicks. Halacha Yud. Let's say zachar shemitzari rebetz alakin. Let's say you find a male, not the female, not the mother, a male that's sitting on the nest. One is exempt from sending away that father. Let's say oif tami rebetz albei oif tar. Let's say you have a non-kosher bird that's sitting on the eggs of a kosher bird. Oif tar rebetz albei oif tami. The opposite. A kosher bird that's sitting on the non-kosher eggs. One's exempt from sending away that bird. It has to be the kosher mother bird on the kosher eggs. Now, halacha yirav says the Rambam. Let's say hoiser vetzes al beitzim. Let's say it's a kosher bird that's laying on the eggs she'enan mina, which is not its own type. But those are also kosher eggs from a kosher species. So one has to send away that mother bird, not mother of these eggs, but this mother bird. If it doesn't send it away, it's not going to get lashed because that's a suffix if this is included in that mitzvah shiluach hakein. Now, if the mother was a treifa, well, that one has to send away. The treifa is only by the eggs, which is not similar to that of a freich, which is a viable chick. But if the mother's a treifa, that still is included in the mitzvah of shiluach hakein. Now, Lochid Beis Rambam says, let's say shachar mikzah simonim b'teichakin. Let's say some of the simonim, which are the pipes by the neck of the bird. Let's say he slaughtered some of those simonim when the bird was in the nest, which we're talking about the minority of the food pipe, because actually in the windpipe, there most definitely there would be an obligation of shiluach, because by the windpipe, it's only considered treifa only if you cut the majority. So we're talking about some of it was cut, before it was taken, which this is a question in the Gemara brought, but what the wording of the Rambam seems to indicate when it says in the singular is that he's talking about that he slaughtered some of the simonim of the mother, because it was running the chicks. It should have said sheikachem, and that's how the Rishonim explain the opinion of the Rambam. However, the difficulty with that is that, but we just said in the previous halacha, the last words right before were that even if the mother's a treifa, there's still obligation for shiluach. So then what would the Rambam be saying? That, if you started slaughtering, that still you would go ahead and you did only mix to someone, you'd have to send away the mother? So rather, it sounds like actually the way to amend the Rambam, that it's actually the way Rashi explains in the Gemara, that we're talking about that if the person slaughtered some of the signs of the chicks that are beneath the mother. And the question is, would there still be an obligation of Shiluach Ha'im, where since you could go ahead and finish the Shechitah, so we would say that, okay, continue doing that it doesn't become a problem? Or do we say, no, there's an obligation to send away the mother, and even though you have to stop in the middle of the Shechitah, even though that might cause a problem for the Shechitah of the children, that would be the question. But be that as it may, if it's like going on the mother or the chicks, says the Rambam, Chayav l'shalech, one still has obligation to send away the mother, but l'shilach, one doesn't send it away, and like it doesn't get lashed again, because this is a suffix in the Gemara, if this is included in the mitzvah shaluach hakein or not. Now, look, given the Rambam qualifies, what's aim alabanim? What's considered that mother hovering on the chicks, on the eggs, to have a mitzvah shaluach hakein? Says Ram Hoysam Mayfefes, let's say the bird was hovering. It wasn't rivetz, it wasn't literally sitting on the eggs. So if its wings were touching the nest, well then you have to send away the mother. But if not, that's not considered alabanim, and one is exempt from sending away the mother bird. Let's say it's a matlas. Let's say it was a cloth, a kunafayim, or there was feathers, that was separating between the wings of the mother bird and the nest. So one still has obligation to send away the mother bird. But if it doesn't, it doesn't get lashed again, because this is also a suffix if this is considered im alabanim or not, because there is a chatzitza. Halach yidal. Let's say it was 2 rows of eggs. And so its wings are touching the upper row of eggs. Or another case is let's say the mother bird was sitting on the unfertilized eggs, which are the not obligated ones. And beneath them were good eggs. Or another case, or a bird on top of a bird. Or the male was on the nest and the mother bird was on the male. All these cases are sveikis in the Gemara. So the halach is harizal, one should not take it in that situation. If he did, you should send away the mother bird. If he didn't send it away, in is not going to get lashed again because it's a suffer. Halach Tazav says Ram, let's say let's say the mother bird was not sitting on top, but was sitting between, amongst the chicks and the eggs. Ve'ein negas behem is not touching them. What it means to say is not touching from above, even though it is sitting in middle and touching them on the sides. One is exempt from sending away the mother because it says rivetzes alafreichem and not between them. And something, let's say it was on the side of the nest. It's touching, its wings are touching the nest from the side. Again, one is exempt from sending the bird away. It has to be on top. Halacha design. Let's say the mother bird was on 2 branches of a tree. And the nest is between those 2 branches. So then we see. If you would take away those branches, would the mother bird fall on the nest? Then it's considered on top, and chayv l'shaleach, it's not hovering, it's sitting. Then chayv l'shaleach, one would have to send away the mother bird. Halach yidzayin. Let's say the mother was sitting on 1 chick, or yalbeachas, or 1 egg. Chayv l'shaleach is still an obligation to send away the mother bird, because even 1 chick is called kin. So let's say someone finds a nest on the surface of the water, or on top of an animal. One has to still send away the mother bird, because as Ram explains, it doesn't say in the plural chicks or eggs. It doesn't say or on the tree or on the earth, which would seem to exclude if it's only 1 bird or 1 chick, or if it's on the surface of the water or on another animal. No, says the Rambam, it's because the Pasuk won't talk about what's common, but it's not limited exclusively to those cases, and would even be the case that we mentioned. One's forbidden to go ahead and marinate in the eggs, as long as the mother's on top of it. Because one cannot take the eggs, whatever the taking is, to marinate it as long as the mother's on. So therefore says the Rambam, let's say the mother bird was sitting on the eggs or the chicks in his loft or on his dovecot, which are in mizamanim, which are not prepared, they just nested over there. And his courtyard is not acquired it from him. Because as Ram explains, just like he cannot marinate in them for other people, meaning just like the person himself has a prohibition, which there's debate if to have the word lachem or not, but just like you can't marinate in them because there's the isser, you can't take the eggs because the mother bird's inside of it. So to his courtyard, although generally there's a kinyan chatzer and the chatzer acquires it for him on his own, but that's only if he himself could acquire it, then his chatzer could be zeich of him. Where he cannot, because the isser, his chatzer also cannot. And that's why actually has an obligation to send away the mother bird, because if his chatzer would acquire for him, then there would be the eggs and chicks in the dovecot are his, and then it would be like mezuman, which is prepared. That's actually part of from shiluch. But since it's not his, therefore there's an obligation to send away the mother bird. Look at this. Ram continues regarding the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKain in contrast to that of other mitzvahs, where one is forbidden to go out and take the mother with the chicks, with the children. Even though you're taking the mother bird, you're taking the chicks because you want to perform a mitzvah with them, you're taking the mother bird with the chicks because you want to do a mitzvah with it, and to purify mitzvah, which requires birds in this purification process, even for that mitzvah, you're not allowed to go ahead and violate Shiluach HaKain. If he did take it, has to send away the mother. If it doesn't send it away, look, he's going to get lashes. As Rambam explains. Because the positive commandment of mitzvah of mitzayra, which requires the birds to purify him, does not override a negative prohibition of positive commandment, which by that of Shiluach HaKain is loitzikach em laban, and so shalech tashlech, which is a positive and a negative. And moreover, says Ram, even the positive commandment of mitzayra does not override even just the positive commandment of shalech tashlech, which Ram here is alluding to the fact of where we said that if you took the birds with the mother bird with the eggs, he has to send it away still. Well, he already violated loisikach. Now all he has is the mitzvah of shalech tashalach. That's what we're saying, that the positive commandment of taras mitzayra, although it's a very chashav mitzvah, but still it will not override even just this positive commandment of the mitzvah of shalech tashalach, because only asay derech loisei, but not loisei basay, and not asay derech asay. Halacha Chav says Ram hamakdish eifel b'edek. Someone sanctifies a bird for the temple upkeep, for the treasury of the base of Mikdash. And the bird flies away from his hands and leaves his domain. Now, it's not prepared anymore, which generally such a bird, if you just found it, you would have to do Shiluach HaKain. But he recognizes this bird, and he finds it laying there on chicks and on eggs. So he takes everything, meaning with the children, even though the mother's on top of it, and he brings it to the treasurer of Hektish, together with the mother, because it's all hektish. Because the pasuk says shalech teshalach, meaning where you have a mitzvah to send it away, that excludes here where you don't have a mitzvah to send it away because you have to send it to the treasurer. Therefore, you take it with the children. As Ram says, she'ein shiluchim noig b'mikdashim, because the mitzvah sending with the mother does not apply something that's owned by hektish. Shnemak says in the pasuk v'sabon tikach, and that then you'll take the children for you. Ve'elu enim shalach. They're not yours. They're hektish, and therefore no mitzvah shiluach hakin. Allah Chavav says Ram oichar gets a nefesh of a bird killed somebody. There also one is exempt from sending away the mother bird. Here, like in the previous case of Hektish, if you're bringing the Hektish, here one is commanded to actually bring the bird to court to execute the bird, which like any animal that kills a person, one has to execute that animal, including a bird, and therefore here this would be exempted from the obligation of sending away the mother bird.